Hey, happy Sunday to you. I hope that you are off to start of a good week and that you are feeling motivated and you're feeling inspired and that you are ready to take on the next week with full momentum and that you're feeling really jazzed. You may not be, and that is okay. But I do wish that for you. So I just had the pleasure, and I want to share this with you because hopefully this does bring some greater excitement or inspiration, motivation to your life. I just completed, like 5 minutes ago, a mindfulness meditation presentation to a women's empowerment group. And I talked about what I would consider some really important reasons why meditation and mindfulness are so incredibly powerful for you and your inner critic. So here, let me just lay some framework and groundwork context for why this is also very important. There's a lot of angles or perspectives to talk about mindfulness, talk about meditation, the importance of them. And I could, choose a whole host of things, everything from the science behind meditation to the spiritual outcomes of meditation. But there's just a couple things that I think for a layperson are really important. So when I talk about a layperson, just a person who doesn't have a meditation practice and who is interested in kind of just like picking up, some best practices and things to think about going forward. So when you're talking about mindfulness and you're talking about meditation, oftentimes there are a lot of myths around mindfulness and meditation. And I ask this all the time in my presentations, what are the myths that are out there? What are the barriers that are keeping you or preventing you from starting a mindfulness practice? And there's two that I hear consistently. And the first is time, where to find the time to start a mindfulness practice or to start meditation. And I want to share with you that you don't need a lot of time. Literally 2 to 5 minutes a day can make an extreme impact on your mental well-being. And that, how many times, if you have an Apple Watch, does your Breathe app come on and you actually ignore it? And I think that that's for 1 minute. So the idea here is it doesn't take a lot of time. It does not have to take a lot of time. Mindfulness and meditation is something that you can do very quickly and you can do on an ongoing, consistent basis. The second myth that I hear or barrier to individuals starting a practice is that they have to have their mind clear, right? So in order for you to meditate, you have to sit for a certain period of time with your mind clear. And people tell me all the time that they can't clear their mind, therefore they are not good at meditating. Well, here's the misnomer about that, is that you are a human being and that your mind is not just your brain. Your mind is not just this organ that sits at the top of our head. Your mind is your total body. Your whole body is your mind. Your mind is your nervous system. You take in all of your information through your senses. So your mind is literally your eyes, your ears, your skin is connected to your mind. Your whole nervous system, your whole body is what your mind is. Your mind is a meaning-making machine. Its job, its primary focus, is to make meaning out of the stimuli that it receives so that it can keep you alive. So your brain is never, nor do we want it to, ever going to shut off. It is always going to be making meaning out of what it picks up and what it senses. And we want it to do this. It's supposed to do this. But here's the thing. So often throughout our day and throughout our lives, we are living unconsciously. In fact, science tells us that we live between 92 to 95% of our lives in our subconscious, unconscious mind. So that means between, 8 and 5%, you are living consciously. So you could imagine what that math means for you. It means that 92 to 95% of the time, you and I are living on autopilot. We think we're making decisions. We think we're being conscious about things, but we are really just on habit mode. We are on autopilot. We are on default mode. And I don't know about you, but I can certainly claim for myself that if left unchecked, my inner critic can do some serious damage if I'm not mindful of her, right? She can tell me some things that are less than helpful. So the more mindful you can be about yourself, the more agency you have over the way that you think and you feel, because through your active mindfulness, by being present and being aware of what's happening in the now moment versus what happened in the past or what you're projecting to happen in the future, or being lost and hijacked by your thoughts and feelings, the more we're able to be mindful, the more we're able to, again, have agency over our lives, the more we have ownership around who we are and, what it is that we're doing. So mindfulness is critically important as a personal development tool, because unlike this idea that your mind is going to just shut off ever, what happens when you are in meditation, or what the objective is that you have all kinds of thoughts, right? You're going to sit down, you're going to close your eyes, you're going to set the timer for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. And if you think that you're going to sit down and you're going to have no thoughts for that amount of time, you are going to fail. So let me reframe this for you. This is what's going to happen. You're going to close your eyes, you're going to set the timer, you're going to focus on your breath, and your brain is going to go nuts. You're going to should on yourself, all the things you should be doing, all the things that you should have done, all the places and the decisions and the whatever that should have already happened. That's going to happen to you. Your inner critic might come on. Why do you always think about these things? You can never have just a free moment. Your judgment might come on. Why did that person do that? Or why did this happen? Or why did that happen? Your planner might kick in. I need to make sure I do this. I need to make sure I do that. Okay. And here you are supposed to be meditating, right? So here's the objective. The objective is, yes, to set the timer, close your eyes, focus on your breath. But your mind is going to make meaning. It's going to have thoughts. And so this is what we're hoping to do with meditation, is that we want to be aware of our thoughts. We want to witness our thoughts, and we want to practice not getting hijacked by our thoughts. So a lot of times in meditation, we talk about seeing our thoughts and feelings as we're meditating as a cloud going by. So rather than, a cloud that comes over your head and you are being rained on, right? Which would be a thought comes in, I should have sent that email to my boss. Why didn't I send that email to my boss? I never do things on time. Okay, notice that this is like a rain cloud that's hovering over you everywhere you're going. As you go down that tunnel, down that rabbit hole of self-shaming, you are being thunderstormed on, right? So rather than that, what meditation teaches us to do is to notice that thought coming in. I should have. And there it is. I notice, I see you, I hear you, I feel you even. And I'm going to take a deep breath in and out. And I'm going to let that thought go. I'm not going to get hijacked. Okay, and there might be like a good 2 or 3 seconds where you're like, in and out, and you're feeling good. And then there's that thought, I should have gone to the grocery store yesterday. Why didn't I do that? I never have food. My children aren't going to be able to eat. I have to go now, right? Oh, okay. And then you catch yourself, right? Because that cloud came, thunderstorm was happening on your head, and you got caught by that thought. But you are at the mental gym. You are doing your meditation. So your practice is to notice that thought, to be aware of it. I see you. I hear you, I feel you, and I'm going to let you go by. I am not going to get hijacked by this thought, by these feelings. So what happens with consistency is that this is literally like going to the mental gym. I'm sure all of you have at least been to the gym once, and you know that you get on the treadmill and you push the timer and you walk or run or whatever until the timer goes off, and then you get up and you like do your next thing. This is essentially meditation. You set a timer, you close your eyes, you focus on your breath. You might use an app which supports you with maybe guided meditation, which is another beautiful, we talked about this in the presentation that I did today, a beautiful way to get into meditation and to really have that very relaxing whole body experience as well. But the main idea is that you are really creating a mental muscle where you are practicing not getting hijacked by your thoughts and your feelings. Because here's the deal. From one perspective, you are your thoughts. You are your thoughts. Because the way that you think dictates the way that you feel, and the way that you feel dictates your actions. If you believe that you can't, you will feel that you cannot, and then you won't. Right? If you feel like you can, you will have the belief that you can, and then you will. So, I mean, completely different outcomes based on the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you do. So this is huge because if you don't know how you think and how you feel, then you're not really conscious of why you're behaving in a certain way. So you are your thoughts, but from another perspective, you absolutely are not your thoughts. Because your thoughts change. Your thoughts change, your thoughts can change. Your mind is elastic, it is plastic, it's malleable, it can stretch, it can grow. And so what you think today might not be what you think this afternoon or what you think tomorrow, right? And so therefore, you are your thoughts, meaning you create your life from the way that you think. And yet you're not your thoughts because you have agency over what your thoughts are. And meditation and mindfulness are critical exercises and critical components to self-development because they help you in a hyper-focused way to really tap into what are your thoughts and what are you feeling. Again, because 92 to 99, 95%, and some studies actually show like up to 99% of our lives are lived in this unconscious way. And so the more you are tapped into what you're thinking and what you're feeling, the more awareness you have about what you're thinking and feeling, the more agency you have. So if you notice that the way that you're talking to yourself is in a less than empowered way. You hadn't noticed that before. It was there. It was under the surface, but you didn't notice it. You never stopped to think about it or stopped to even hear what she's saying inside, what that inner critic is saying. But she's talking, right? But until you turn that volume up and you laser in and you like really listen to her, it might scare you a little bit like what she's saying because she is running the show, right? She is hijacking your agency. She's hijacking your ability to consciously move forward or consciously make a decision. And we don't want that for ourselves, right? So meditation can be an extremely powerful way for you to tap into what are your thoughts, what are your feelings, and for you to begin to do something different and reprogram yourself to have more empowered thoughts and more empowered feelings. So that is my maybe like 101 quick deep dive into the power of meditation, the powerful power of mindfulness, and how it can be critically helpful for you or vitally helpful for you to incorporate 2 to 3 minutes of mindfulness meditation into your daily life so that you can better really, figure out what are your unconscious thoughts. Are they empowering you or are they disempowering you? And if they're disempowering you, how can you amp them up? How can you practice new thoughts and new ways of feeling, thus new ways of being? So bye for now. Thank you for joining me for this quick chat. I'll talk to you soon. Love and light.